What's going on, guys? It's Sean. I'm back again, and we got a really cool video. In this video, we are going to do some painting. We're going to be painting Thor. Yeah. Normally, I would use Mod Podge to seal all my foam pieces because it's odorless and I can use it indoors. But since it's nice weather outside, I decided I'm going to take it into the shop and use Plastidip. Now, the benefits of using Plastidip is that Plastidip dries a whole lot faster. You need a couple coats and you only wait like 5-10 minutes and then you're able to paint on top of it. Now, the disadvantages of using Plastidip is that it has this really nasty odor. It stinks. You have to be able to use it in the shop somewhere. You can't really do this indoor in the middle of the night in the bedroom while your wife is sleeping next to you. That would be very rude. So yeah, here is a shot of my arm gauntlet thingies. I was told not to say thingies because it doesn't mean anything. Well, look at this cool thingy right here. You see this thingy? Yeah. Now I got me some wham color all mixed up. And if you're wondering what is wham color, well, I take all these paint and I'll mix them up and wham. You just kind of get whatever, you know. So far, so groovy, and I'm digging the way this is looking. I'm going to mix up some darker color, use this copper, and then put some black to it, water it down really good, and then I'm going to shade some areas. This will add some contrast, and it's going to make it look a whole lot cooler, not so plain, you know, because plain is boring, and you don't want to be boring. We don't really do boring here at XiengProd. We do awesome. Notice how I am not trying to cover the entire armor. I'm just doing certain areas, specifically the edges. And then I went back over and did some more shading, made it a little bit darker. So I went and painted the shoulder pad and the shin guard this funky color. I want to call it Tiffany or teal or Tiffany or I don't know. Yeah, let me know what color that is down below, because this is just another wham color. I just whammed it together, and I took some more wham color and I threw on some weathering to make it look like, you know, he got into a fight with the Hulk or something. That's probably the Hulk's blood. And then add a little bit of black to it so I can make it a little bit darker, because I didn't want to waste the rest of the ink, and then painted the rest of it some more weathering. So it's looking pretty cool. I don't know, y'all tell me, what do y'all think? And what color is that? Because I'm not gonna be able to sleep now until I find out. So far it's looking pretty cool, but not cool enough. I gotta make this thing look like it's metal and it's been weathered. So I'm gonna take my magic chrome spray paint and spray it onto this rag and then try brush it on there like I do on a lot of my builds. So yeah, just in case this is your first time tuning in, this is how I do my weathering. Then I took some more wham colors, just a little bit darker, and I wanted to add some more shading around the edges to give it some contrast. I already paint the arms some plain brown, but I'm gonna put some weathering to that and give it some more contrast and definition, make it look way awesome. Now normally I would say you don't have to worry about getting things perfect because it's just cosplay, bro. But this part right here, this button, you see right here I'm painting, you gotta make sure you get that one perfect, because if you don't, you're gonna screw up the rest of the cosplay and you're gonna have to start all over. Now as a kid I grew up playing Hangman. Y'all wouldn't know that with y'all 68 high def bit game whatever, but back in my days we played Hangman and we drew these little stick figures as we guessed the wrong number, and we end up, you know what, just Google it, it's probably easier. Now right here I started drawing a self-portrait and I couldn't. So I decided to start writing in Chinglish. And if you're wondering what Chinglish is, it's like Chinese and English together. So we call it Chinglish. And we did some more Chinglish writing on the arm. And it doesn't matter what it looks like because nobody's gonna understand it. Like, I don't even think they understood what it really meant on the actual costume. Like on the movie, it's not even real language anyways. Not like Chinglish. Chinglish is actually real. We get it in our instructions when we buy stuff from IKEA. So yeah, I'm basically pretty random when I'm drawing these symbols on here because, I mean, why overthink it? You can just sit there and ponder designs. If you're having problems figuring out what to draw, then you can write English, but make it look like it's something else. As you can tell right here, I am writing my favorite word ever. This is like probably my first word ever spoken from these mouth as a baby. It's my favorite word right here. Bro. Dig it? And if you're wondering what the other word says, it says XiengProd. Because, duh. So I got me some fake leather, or some pleather, or faux leather, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to make this belt and hip thingy. Well, you know what? Some people don't like it when I say thingy, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. And I'm going to call this a majiggy. So, yeah, I'm going to be working on this belt harness and this hip majiggy. And I'm going to take this straight edge, and then I'm going to draw inside about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 an inch. And then I'm going to cut off all these little axes. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm giving myself some seam allowance. But I am not sewing it, so I'm going to glue it in. So let's call it the glue allowance. I'm going to apply some contact cement on the edges, and then I'm going to fold it along the line. That is if you don't have a sewing machine. Now, this is a really quick and easy alternative to hemming up your edges, for those that don't have a sewing machine, that is. Now, you can use some scrap foam or this high-tech spreader to spread your contact cement in there, but you want to make sure that your glue is completely in there and whatever, because you don't want this to be all flimsy when you go to fold it over and make contact. You're gonna want your contact cement to sit there and dry, and once it's all dry, you're gonna take your edge and then carefully fold the edges over just like that, and you're gonna have a bond that's stronger than the actual material. But the contact cement is not going to work on the really smooth side. It will only work on the fabric side. So yeah, so far this is what you'll have. Now, for some of you guys that have sewing machines that's capable of sewing faux, fake pleather, then yeah, I would recommend using that, because you have this really cool seam. And then you're going to end up having to sew this Velcro on there too. So I got all my pieces laid out and pinned together. Here is the piece of fabric that I'm going to put into the center of this, and this is how it should look like when it's done. I even got this strap that's going to go across the chest down to the belt. I marked the area that I'm going to trim this belt majiggy. Yeah, so I was told to stop repeating myself because I'm always being repetitive with some of these things that I say. So I think I'm going to start switching things up a little bit and come up with new saying, like hope you can get jiggy with this thingamajiggy. Yeah. Or maybe something like I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah, let's work on that a little bit. So I got this whole harness majiggy sewn together. I mean, got my Velcro put down on there, and then I'm putting some buttons, which I kind of messed up on this one, and I had to redo it over again. But after the 8th try, finally got it right. I'm using a special tool that crimps on these buttons, but if you pick them up at Home Depot, they come with some pretty generic tools that work really well. But I have this, so I might as well just use it, right? Now this button is going to attach to the harness that goes across his chest and down to his waist. And I'm not sure what it holds up, but it's there. So we're just gonna follow the reference picture, because why not? I mean, we want it to look right? Yeah. Now when you install these buttons, you want to make sure you put on the corresponding pieces. That way they match each other, you know, like male and female, because you can't get two male pieces together. All they're gonna do is just bump head and not work properly. Now that I got my buttons done, it's time to put on some Velcro from the inside. Now I'm using some contact cement and Velcro that's got an adhesive back end that just, you know, sticks to anything except for fabric. Unless you put contact cement on there, then it'll stick a whole lot better. For the belt harness, I used the loop Velcro, and for the armor, I used the hook Velcro, and it's just going to attach just like that. That way it doesn't slip off, and when you store it, you can actually store it together. And on the back end of the belt, I did put some Velcro on there. Actually, I sewed it on there. And now it's time to attach this chest harness thingy majiggy to the top, which I sewed some Velcro, and it's going to tuck underneath the strap area, and it's just gonna fold right over just like that. Now I used double-sided Velcro, one with the hook in on one end and the loop in on the other, and it just kind of sits on there just like that, and you're able to adjust it the lengthwise, that is. And here is a shot of how the back should look like with the Velcro sewn on to some elastic. Now as for the cape, I used some red fabric, nothing special. I just cut it to size and hemmed up the edges, and then I cut a slot right here on the strap area, just wide enough for me to tuck the corner of the cape in there just like that, and it's just gonna fold over. I didn't glue it down or anything, it held just fine, but you can use glue if you want. And then I took some safety pin and pinned it to the elastic. Now I could have been a little more creative with this, but I'll figure that out later. So far this is where I'm at with my Thor cosplay, and here is some glamour shots for your viewing pleasure with all the graphic details, I guess, the stick figures, and then my subliminal writing on my shin guard. I hope you guys dig it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something, and if you like what I do here, make sure you hit that like button and leave a comment. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for more awesome cool tutorial, and be sure to check out some of my other videos. And I guess that's it for this video. I'll see y'all in the next one.